Make sure you have hard copies of things. We are under attack, and we have to stop looking at these things all as isolated incidents. I don't think they are. I don't think that there is I don't think it's a coincidence that COVID happened, and just at the time that anybody who's really watching the markets knows that the market is toast. The Fed is in trouble because of the spending that they've done. We watched it on this program, showed you that they were doing things without any explanation that they had never done before for 6 months leading up to COVID. And now they're just giving all this money to all of these big corporations. They're investing in the stock market. That's unheard of, and not the place for the Fed. They are also underwriting our debt in figures that are staggering. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that I think that that's happening at the same time all of the corporations are sucking up to Black Lives Matter. And it's not a coincidence that Black Lives Matter is here and the New York Times is doing the 1619 Project at the same time. And it's not a coincidence that both of those have had curriculums done for them, and they are being pushed into our schools right now. It's not a coincidence that our churches are closed. California, you cannot accept this ban with churches. It's not a coincidence that the left has said they wanted to destroy the wealth of the United States and destroy what? The entrepreneurial spirit. Do you remember when Barack got in and he started all of these things, and all of these local Marxists started banning lemonade stands? Well, I'll do you one better. If you watch your family lose everything because they were entrepreneurs, and you're being taught that capitalism is bad in school, do you want to be an entrepreneur? It's not a coincidence that over 50% of restaurants now are closed for good. As of today, 41% of all businesses overall closed permanently. Now, those are the small businesses, and they were the ones that were ordered closed by the government: bars, restaurants, gyms, yoga studios. The next wave, especially in California, you're toast. Texas cannot be closed again. The next wave that will be impacted will be those who weren't necessarily ordered closed state by state, but are impacted because of the larger chain stores that are closing. For the last few weeks, these are just some of the names that you will no longer see on buildings. Pier 1 Imports, gone. GNC, gone. JCPenney, Signet Jewelers. You know Signet Jewelers is Kay's, or all of these other little diamond places. Those are all Signet Jewelers. Forever 21 is closed. Lululemon closed. Now, they have closed either all or most of their stores in the last 60 days. Macy's, Gap, Walgreens, Office Depot, Banana Republic, Papyrus, all have announced closing hundreds of their stores. And the knock-on effect is the smaller stores that are located in the same shopping centers. The small shoe repair, the dress shop, the stationery store, the fashion store. The people who relied on the foot traffic in the mall or the large chain store next to them. Public-private partnership between Uncle Sam and the U.S. commercial interest is almost entirely Fortune 1000 focused. And in a way, I guess it has to be. It makes sense the government would focus resources towards companies that can provide the broadest services like Walmart, CVS, 3M, Smithfield, Tyson Food. But the small businessman, the backbone of this nation, is left out in the cold. And still, that isn't the worst news. The U.S. budget deficit was $864 billion in June. Almost $1 trillion in 4 weeks. Total U.S. debt now is closing in on $27 trillion. When we last had an election, it was $20 trillion. It looks like in this 4-year period, the Donald Trump administration, because of all of this, will add $8.3 trillion. For 2020, debt per taxpayer is growing at 2.5 times the rate of household income. The Federal Reserve is now buying an average of $9 billion of U.S. Treasuries per day, not rolling over, not buying old debt, buying current, brand new debt, new issuance, growing Treasury holdings by $300 billion a month. That is the modern monetary theory. All those elements are true, and that's all true without another round of COVID stimulus, which will likely be between $1 trillion, the Trump proposal, and $3 trillion, the Pelosi proposal. U.S. federal debt will be at $30 trillion by the end of the year, and that doesn't count any of the debt from the state or local, also growing at rates never before seen. I saw a story the other day from Venezuela. Here's the headline: there is no more wealth to distribute. Venezuela poverty rate surges. They found that 64.8% of Venezuelan households experienced multidimensional poverty in 2019, a measure that takes into account income as well as the access to education and public services. Venezuela's poverty rate surged in 2019 to levels unmatched anywhere in Latin America as the once prosperous oil-producing nation's hyperinflationary economic collapse continued for a 6th straight year. There will be no more wealth to redistribute. And the Marxists and the anarchists and the islamists, something that I was marked by every single person in the media, left and right. I was called a madman for saying it. Everything we talked about at Fox, everything is now in play. It's all here. And what is coming, my friend, is going to be tough unless we all stand together, unless we return to our God, unless we allow this initial impact to change us fundamentally. Marxists, anarchists, Islamists working together. They're not even hiding it anymore. Experts now call it the Red-Green Alliance. Oh, they've got a nice name for it now. CAIR has been marching with Black Lives Matter in several places, leading chants. I want to play some chants. One is from CAIR in Florida. The other is from Brooklyn. The Black Lives Matter met and invited speakers to call for the abolishment of police, Israel, the U.S. government. I want you to listen to the chants in both of these cities. Listen.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
This is Florida.
Black Lives Matter! 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 Black Lives Matter!
So you have the Black Lives Matter chant in Florida. This was a CAIR. This was a CAIR rally. Now, they were a little more blatant in Brooklyn. Here's the Brooklyn Black Lives Matter and CAIR rally. No annexation rally. Listen.
Resistance is justified.
Resistance is justified from New York to Palestine. From Gaza to Minnesota. Globalize the Intifada. Exactly what I said would happen is now happening on our streets, and you are not hearing a word about it. Another BLM Islamist rally had the chants of Black Lives Matter, Palestinian Lives Matter, And then they ended with the chant, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," which is the call to destroy Israel. Do we have that chant?
Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Palestinian lives matter! Palestinian lives matter! Palestinian lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That means kill all the Jews. That's what that means. We are not dealing with people that want to just have fairness in America. I've got to take a break, and then I'm going to come back, and I want to talk to you about your church. Because I'm telling you right now, the church is the only thing that will save us. Our churches. But where are our pastors? Where are our preachers? Where are the people that are supposed to stand up for what is right? Are you not listening to God? How can an alcoholic DJ Mormon get this and not you?